abandoned you. How many years did I spend taking care of your... Because you were too wasted to do it yourself.
She takes incidents and blows them up out of all proportion.
Mom, no, you wouldn't lose me by, but what are you saying? Are you saying that you think you'd lose me if you stopped drinking?
A crisis can occur at any time in every family. Sometimes an outsider is needed who offers objectivity and direction through counseling. This television program recreates counseling sessions with actors portraying family members. They are guided by a licensed social worker as the crisis counselor, Thom Thompson.
Alcoholism reaches far beyond the alcoholic himself. It affects the lives of each family member, especially children. One organization that helps relatives of alcoholics deal with the problem is Al-Anon, and for younger members, there is Alateen. I received a call from Linda Zimmerman. She wanted her younger brother and her mother to meet with me. Her mother does not recognize that she's an alcoholic, and her brother is frustrated by feelings of love and disgust for his mother.
I believe my mother needs some assistance with a problem that's been going on for quite some time. And I feel that it's taken on the proportions now that she's got to do something about it.
We talked briefly on the phone. We should make no secret of that. It wasn't a long conversation, but you said the problem is alcoholism.
Yes.
Is that too strong for you?
Oh, I think
It's a loaded word, isn't it?
I think it's a very strong and very wrong word.
She would.
But something has brought you to the stage of coming here, of setting up a session with a counselor. I know that people don't do that until it's a crisis in their lives.
It's taken on proportion now that it's affecting Jimmy's grades. He's always done very well in school, and the last couple months, it's just not happening. He can't
Jimmy
study.
is living with you still.
At home.
There's just the two of you at home. You've recently married, I understand.
And I have enough room where I'm living that he could come and stay with me and be under much better circumstances, in my opinion. But part of Mother's and my agreement is that if she will do something about her problem, then I will not fight so strongly to get Jimmy to stay with me.
Jimmy, I guess we better ask you what... I think you're being tugged a little bit from both sides here. I want you to know I recognize that, but how do you feel? I better listen to you instead of tell you.
I don't know. I mean, they both. You know, I love them both, but they.
Of course.
I feel like it would be it would be bad if I went in and lived with her new husband, because it was, you know, I mean, they're starting out their new thing, and I should live with my mom.
I think Linda, as she always has, is making a mountain out of a molehill. Linda has abandoned me.
Oh, my God.
And now she would like to take Jimmy.
I abandoned you. How many years did I spend taking care of your... Because you were too wasted to do it yourself. Tell the doctor that, Mother.
Wait, there is heat on you now. I know there's pressure on you, and I don't want you to have to feel that you have to sit here and defend yourself. But,
Thank you.
But what is she saying?
I remarried. I think Linda may have a feeling of jealousy. She takes incidents and blows them up out of all proportion. I mean,
Tell them about the time you had the dinner party, Mother. The time you got so drunk before 5 o'clock that the roast was on fire in the oven by the time everybody showed up. I had to go out and get something to cover you.
oh, Doctor, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
The thing is, I don't want to listen to so many definitions of your quote, quote, bad behavior. I'd rather hear from you. And it's hard for me to ask you this in a way, but your drinking pattern, has it been changing over the last several years?
I was very hurt when Paul died.
You drove him
I
to
felt, I felt guilty.
You're talking about your...
My son, my first son. And I wanted to forget.
For 24 years.
It's taking a bit long now.
I'm not an alcoholic. I mean, Doctor, do I look like an alcoholic?
Alcoholics don't look any special way. The real question is alcohol beginning to interfere with your life in any way? And I'd rather hear a definition from you of that than from either of your children.
No. I drink. Everybody drinks. My God, I don't take drugs. I mean, I drink socially.
But something's happening here that I'm not hearing. If you've come to the point of wanting to have your brother live with you instead of with your mother, what is that really about?
What?
Linda would like to take away everything that I have.
That's the second time you've said that. What does it mean?
Linda basically is jealous of me.
What in the world would I be jealous of you for? Why?
Oh, Linda.
Mother, why would I want to do something deliberately to hurt you? You're my mother. Haven't I always helped you? Haven't I always been there when you needed me?
No. No.
I get the sense that both of you have been wanting something of each other that you've not been getting.
I wanted what daughters give. I have given her everything a mother should give. I have given her love. I have seen to it that she is well provided for. She has never lacked for anything.
Except,
Not ever.
how can you talk to someone that's constantly drunk? How can you relate to somebody that every time you say a word to them, they don't remember from the one minute to the next what you said? Or why? Or when you try and go out for the prom, she's so wasted, upstairs asleep that you have to get dressed by yourself, all those things.
Linda, I was very sick that day.
Oh, you're always sick! There's always an excuse!
It's hard for you to hear it, I think, from Linda, and I hesitate to do this, but Jimmy, can you help us out here? Can you? And Mother, I wonder if you can hear this in honesty. Look at your mother right now and tell her whether you think she has a drinking problem.
Yes.
I didn't say alcoholic. I came away from that loaded word. You do believe she has a drinking problem?
Yes.
What do you want her to do about it?
I want her to stop.
Well, it may not be that simple. What should she do first, in your opinion?
I don't-
And you may not know that.
I just wish she'd, I come home and she's sitting there in the bedroom with the television on, and I want to go and do something. I want to go into my room and I want to study. And my mom's in the other room and she's just sitting there with the stupid television on, and meanwhile she's got the television in the other room. And they're both going on at the same time. How am I supposed to think? I mean, I don't like that.
Jimmy, what did you say?
Why didn't I've told you that.
Don't get angry.
Oh, what do you want me to do? What are you acting? You're acting like I've never said this before.
Mrs. McAvoy, the thing that I want above everything else is that you do not sit here and feel under a sense of attack from your children. On the other hand, I want them to bring out the truth to you and to have you hear it so that you can decide. They should not decide for your life what you should do.
Exactly.
But you can't deny any longer if a problem does exist, can you?
Yes, I drink. Often.
Mother, why is it so hard for you to admit that you might have a problem drinking? That you might, why, just to admit it. If you would just admit it, maybe you can get past all this and we won't have to fight like this or disagree or be at odds ends all the time.
Because
I'll do what I can. I'll do what you want me to do. Except I can't stand by and watch you destroy your life.
Wait, are you saying that if she took some action, you could still be with her in terms of emotional support?
Of course. That's what I want.
Do you hear that?
yes, I do, Doctor, but may I say something? When it was discussed that I might have a problem, I went to Alcoholics Anonymous.
I was about to ask
Yes.
you that.
Linda did not care to go to Al-Anon.
How long did you go?
Quite a while.
How long, Mother? How many sessions?
I went 2 months.
But there may be the making of what I would openly call, and it may sound funny to you at first, but there may be the making here of a deal, a bargain of sorts.
But Doctor, I wasn't like those people. I wasn't like those people.
You're absolutely right. You're not like anyone else. But you may be like them in one respect. Alcohol may be interfering with your life. And alcohol could even cost you to lose your children's respect.
Well, I've clearly lost Linda.
I don't think so. The conversation we had was short, but it was not a conversation of rejection of you. It was a conversation of, I'm about to lose my mother. My mother's about to lose herself, and I want to save her.
What? I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Don't be sorry.
Why does she want to take
It's all
Jimmy?
right to show emotions in that way.
Why does she want to take Jimmy?
Really say that. I mean, it's true, yes, I know that there are problems, but I don't particularly want you to start making her feel like it isn't very fair.
Jimmy clearly doesn't want to jump ship, Linda.
I don't
And
want
neither
to
do you.
I don't.
You told me that on the phone, and I think you've said that here. You said something a moment ago, then we glossed right over it. You said, you don't have to excuse yourself for honest expression of feeling in this office for certain. I think you are crying in recognition of what you should admit. I may be climbing out on a limb in saying that. But you don't want to admit, shall I say it, to a drinking problem for fear of what? What will happen then?
Because then I'll lose them both.
You will not.
No. No.
But wait, she's not going to believe that coming out of my mouth.
I have lost everything in this life, Doctor.
Jimmy,
What? No, wait, no, Mom. No, you wouldn't lose me by, but what do you say? Are you saying that you think you'd lose me if you stopped drinking?
no. We're talking about having her admit, if she can, and if it's true,
No,
to a drinking
Mom.
problem. Would she lose you then?
Stop. Just fine. It doesn't matter. I see that. You don't have to put up a front. I hate fronts. I hate it when people just start putting on a whole thing. I would love it if you would just say, yeah. I'm
Jimmy, she
drunk.
may not be able to stop all at once.
What?
What if she tries and it's a pretty big struggle? Can you accept her and stay with her?
Yes. Why couldn't I? Why couldn't I?
And Linda, we need to hear from you too. Your mother is afraid that she's either lost you or that she's going to lose you.
I already made a bargain with my mother that if she would agree to come to counseling, I would let off on bringing Jimmy with me. I don't want to tear this family up, contrary to what some people might believe.
What other kind of involvement can you make? A moment ago I heard her say something very important, and that was that she wanted you to be involved in her therapy in some way. Counseling sessions here, yes, you're already involved there, and I can continue with all of you, really. Or it can be with your mother, but she may need the help of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I will do whatever I can. I got tired of every time I went to pick her up to go. She'd already had 3 drinks, so she was in great shape.
I really don't think you're helping things. I think all you're doing is making things worse.
I'm bringing the truth out. Jimmy!
Listen, wait a minute. You left and you waited, and now I'm there with her. Now you're telling her that I can't go and stay with her.
Jimmy, if you want to stay with her, if you want to stay with me, whatever, I don't care. But my concern here is that if you stay with her, she's not fit.
It's worse. You're just making things worse.
How can you
You're just making her feel terrible. Why do you think? You think she's going to go home and feel good about this tonight, making her say she's not fit? I think that's a little bad.
There is one thing that everybody could feel good about right now, and that would be if you would say you'd commit yourself to working on that problem.
That's the only thing I want.
Oh, it's not really.
Well,
That's
you've made several indications to me that you would back off in terms of your need to have Jimmy live with you if your mother would get help. Can you get help too with her through Al-Anon?
I don't see why not.
Why wouldn't you go before?
I just told you.
She wanted to go off and marry Mr. Calculator.
Thank you.
I hate him. I hate him. I don't want to live with him. How would you want me to live with him and you? I hate him. He's just...
You never
Jimmy?
told me that before, Jimmy.
Jimmy and Linda,
I think you can figure it out.
it's come out now that that's not, at least at the moment, a good and workable plan.
See, I never knew that. He never told me that before.
But now he has said
Okay.
it, and if he will say some things to his mother as well, like what he said a while ago, that, Mother, honestly, I believe you have a drinking problem. You know, when someone has a drinking problem and it's apparent, they need the support and acceptance of their kids more than anything, which if you're pretty angry, as I sense that you are, you've told me, it's very hard to give, isn't it?
I feel like I have spent the majority of my lifetime giving to my mother. And it seemed like every time we were in a situation and I would give some more and she'd say, well, this is the last time, I promise, honey. This is the last time. How many times can you hear that before you don't believe it anymore? And because she is my mother, there is always going to be that spark of love or whatever that you can't do anything about. It's just there,
Please hear
regardless of what happens.
Hear
But
that.
I
Don't
have
reject
been
it.
squashed and embarrassed and humiliated so many times I can't trust her.
Okay, don't trust her this time. Doesn't that sound strange coming from me?
Yes.
Don't trust her, just simply support her by going to Al-Anon. I don't think you have to offer 100% trust. You don't have to say definitely things are going to work out this time. You've been down that route. I've heard that. It's too many times now to trust in that way again. Instead of trusting this time, just agree to give your support. And Jimmy,
Yes.
we need it from you too.
I'd go. There's no question. I would go. I would go.
The question really then is, Mrs. McAvoy, if they give you that support, will you do something about this problem?
I suppose so.
Mother.
Please hear that. That's a step for her.
It is, that's true.
When steps are made, you've got to recognize them. You want her to make a big step. You want her to say, I will not touch alcohol again.
All I want her to say is, yes, I have a drinking problem, and really believe it, and not be saying it for me or for him or for you, but for her. Because until she knows that, or until she at least
Don't get
admits
so
it.
excited. Don't get
How
so
can I
excited
help?
because all that does is make things worse. If you would
It's
just be a
always
little
my
more
fault,
calm.
isn't it?
If you just
It's
be a
always
little
my
more calm, you get so hot-headed about stupid things. You just make her excited, you make her feel bad, and that makes her drink more.
So
Well,
it's
that
all
may
my
be
fault?
one of, I'm sorry?
It's all my fault then.
No, it's not. Let's don't look for fault here. Let's look for what each one of you can do. Who am I to say? But it seems like what you can do, if it's true, is to admit that you have a problem and to start working on it. And what the two of you can do is to support her. And not expect big progress all at once. But there's someone that can say this a lot better than I can say it, very frankly, and that's Al-Anon.
Rita McAvoy was destroying herself, and her family is suffering a wide sweep of feelings, including anger and rejection, as well as love, although that love, along with family unity, is weakening and threatened with disintegration. Counseling for this family had two objectives. First, to offer Rita an opportunity to consider her pattern of alcoholism without that atmosphere of blame and guilt and rejection. And then second, to help the two children to see that they also need help in understanding and managing their feelings of helplessness and anger. And then to replace rejection of mother, carefully choosing confrontation with her alcoholism. Alcoholism is not a mark of weakness. Rather, it's an illness that affects about 12 to 15 million Americans. The alcoholic needs medical care, and we should insist they get it. That's why I suggested Rita seek the help of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I suggest to you who know an alcoholic to seek the advice of such support groups as Al-Anon or Alateen. Let's have love and growth and health in your family and in mine. I'm Thom Thompson.